talking about anger. And she says, sometimes feel angry on my son. I said, what's wrong? And she says, whenever I am watching my lovely program, he comes and disturbs me. Now there you are. Mother is there to look after the children. Of course, she has her own priority as well. But when children want something, then you should not just shout at them because you are watching your own program. And the other one, somebody sent me a nice video that there was a teacher and she was studying, she was marking the paper of the students, and she gave them the topic that what you want in life. And while she was reading papers, she just cried to read one of the papers. And the husband asked, why you're crying? Why you're crying? And she said, this person, I just said what you want in. And she wrote, I wish I could be a mobile phone. So that mobile phone, every time I go home, mom is busy on mobile, father is busy on mobile, everybody is busy on mobile. And I wish I would be a mobile phone. And she said, why are you crying? And she said, that was our daughter who wrote that she's in my own class. And there you are. If mother is not sustaining the child, how can sustain? The child grows big. And with that, so what sort of qualities we're looking for in mothers? Now we are so lucky that when we joined the Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga Center, we got perfect parents. In Bharat, we got God is our mother and father. And we say God, the Supreme, Shiv Baba, we call him. He adopts us through Brahma. Brahma becomes the head of this institution. And when he adopts through Brahma, Brahma becomes our good mother. And Brahma Baba has really sustained so many children. Now, when we come to this spiritual study, we are not good. We have our own weaknesses, we have our own specialities, we have our own qualities, and we don't know ourselves. And when we heard this knowledge, then the understanding goes that I need to be good, I need to be peaceful, if I need to be happy, and this study teaching me how to be happy, and this study teaches me how to change myself. And the very purpose of this study is that God has come to change the world. World has become hell. People are, when we meet them, suffering. We all know we were suffering before as well. And so the main purpose of this Raj Yoga study is to bring about the change individually, so they can really, when one changes, we all say this slogan, when I change, the world changes. It highlights the area on the self-change. And I know Sister Janti has talked about sustain yourself. Now, what qualities I need is, first of all, I have to be really unconditioned love in me for myself. And I should be really focusing on developing myself, that spirituality, so that I can give sustenance to others. Now, to be very determined to leave my own weaknesses. We all were very body conscious because coming of this study, we did not know what soul is, what soul conscious is, how to be peaceful, how to be happy. We were struggling. And now this study sustained us, first of all, that you don't look for peace outside, in physical things, or ask the peace from God, or do you just ask people to give them love. But first of all, they teach you, love yourself, sustain yourself. Whatever you just have inside weaknesses, be introvert, check yourself. That which area is the worst, my habit, which is not causing me problem, but causing the family problem, causing the people around me if I don't change. So change is very important, and it's not easy to change it. Typical sanskaras of you, but you need guidance, and that's how we, when we come to this study, I have personal sustenance from Dadi Janki. She knew us all, and she knew anything we needed, we just ask. Anything we were stuck, we ask. And very nicely she understood us and gave us so much sustenance in with love, with care, with understanding, and develop us those qualities which is needed in us. And I always say that thanks to her, so we reach to that stage where we can really smile and we can sustain others as well. And then I met Jagadamba Mother, and who was the good sustainer of the Brahma Kumaris. Jagadamba, I remember Mama, that she just sustained so many children, so many sisters, so many brothers. But the way she sustained, I learned from her. She always appreciated others and not tell them off what they did wrong or anything. Appreciate them first and then mention a little bit that this you need to do. And I remember somebody just told that story, that she had a duty of serving people at dinner time, lunch time. There was one sister who always come late to have her lunch and dinner. And she has to wait for her and then pick it up, all the utensils and things. She came to Mama. She says, Mama, please tell this sister that come in time, so I finish in time. Mama called that sister. Next tomorrow, come in time to have your lunch and dinner. That sister is waiting for you. She says, okay, Mama. And that sister, few days, of course, she came in time. But when you have a habit, then what happens? You just come back to the same. And then after a few days, she was late again. And then that sister who was serving again, got fed up. She came to Mama again and said, Mama, she's coming late again. And Mama called the sister and said, now, whatever your duty is, for 15 days, I change your duty to serve the dinner and lunch, right? And just don't do that other duty for the time being. Now, that sister is there waiting for others to serve them and finish. After a few days, she come to Mama. Mama, I learned. Mama, I learned. I'll never come late again. There you are. Rather than telling Mama off to her that I told you 10 times, I told you this thing, and usually we say it, and you're doing the same thing. No. She said, okay, you change your duty. Now you know it, how the other feels. This is beautiful. You know, when we teach them lovingly and then they realize it, then the change is good. If you just say them, then superficially changing. and that's all. And Mama had many qualities, never telling people off, but she had such a good things to mention your goodness and then working from your goodness. This is what the Dadi Janki did. When we complained to Dadi, Dadi, this sister is like this. And she said, Mithri, you know the job she does, the qualities she has it. Can you do that? No, you can't do that. And that's why she took the sustenance from all the qualities of the brothers and sisters. They have it. Good mother is, she know the weaknesses of the children, but she just bring them to overcome the weaknesses, not to nail them with the weaknesses, not to tell them off with the weaknesses, but just to give them the power, help, love, and understanding that this weakness is causing you unhappiness and causing others unhappiness. So there you are. So a good mother sustaining the children with their qualities, with their specialities, and the good mother has such discern power what the children needs. But the other thing is, she knew in Raj Yoga study we learn that we all are individuals. We don't own anyone. Even my own children, they are individuals. I don't own them. They have their own personality. They have their own karma account. They have their own habits. I can suggest them, but I cannot really bring about the change what I want them to. But I give them unconditional love. I become an instrument to guide them, but I don't impose on them. Sometimes we go wrong sometimes as a mother with attachment. We impose on them. No, you shouldn't do that. This is wrong what you're doing. No. Good mother, tell them. I always tell that mom thinks that way. What you think? Or whenever I write, I always say, Mom, wish you the happiness the way you want. And you develop them according to their own, whatever they have, the likings or disliking. If you force them to do something, they won't be able to do it and they will be miserable. And so understand them, what they need, what they want, how to really bring them onto the right path. If you force them, it's not right. And you have to have a good tolerance power. And whatever the weaknesses they have it, you have to not just ignore it, but try and overcome them, make them to overcome. And there you are. And though someone was talking about grandchildren, not just give them love and gifts and then this, that, the others, and they love Nani Ma for a few, or Nani, grandma just for a few hours or few days they're looking after. But good thing is to give them spirituality, sustain them spirituality. Otherwise, what happens nowadays? Mothers, fathers, they are so busy, they give them whatever they want, the designers' clothes, this, that, the other. But the spirituality is a must. I remember one day I get hold of my grandson. I said, come here, sit down. Listen to this class. Shivani's class, balance sheet. Half an hour he sat with me. He nicely heard. When he was getting up, I said, what you learned from it? He said, I won't hurt my sister anymore. There you are. So that's good. At least give them the understanding that life, if you want to live happily, you need to give them some spirituality. At least whenever they turn to the God, the Father, the Supreme, they take their power from Him and overcome the situation, not break down, not break down. There you are. And life is not offering young people anymore. And so it's very important. Well, Mani, now come, you share something.
Thank you, Shashi. Nice stories. I was just thinking, they say that when child is born, it's very, very important, at least 3 to 5 years to sustain that child, because that's the maximum time child is going to be with parents. And if that sustenance is not given to them, then further in their life, there will be lots of difficulties. And so, as Shivan was saying, that it's very, very important when we bring up the child. Yes, spirituality is, of course, very, very important. I was also thinking that coming to the spiritual knowledge, my mother, I know Sashiben's mother as well, that when we were born, yes, we were given lots of sustenance, lots of love, lots of happiness. And many times Daddy used to say that you are very lucky that you have such a parents, you have received very good sustenance. When I came to spiritual life, I wasn't looking for one, but it was my fortune that it happened that I came in the spiritual life at the age of 19. And of course, not having that much interest, but just it was in our house, the course was going on. And then because something is happening in your home, although you don't want to listen, but something goes in your ears. And I took something from it. I said, this is different. Although my mother used to take me to many different religious places, and many religious people used to come to our place, but never impressed by anything. And when I finished my course, I said, this is something different. In a very little time, I met Dadi Janki. His first meeting, I met Dadi, and she invited me where I stay now in Tennyson Road. Such a nice, very powerful, spiritual atmosphere is created by Dadi. That's where I stay. And she says, come and stay with me. It was my first meeting, and seeing her, I was very, very impressed, because here, 40 years yogi life who has lived, and this is my first meeting. And she's inviting me to the place where she lives. And I said, I live far and I work actually. And she says, do you work in weekends? I said, no. She says, you can come on weekends. So I just wanted to please. I said, I'll go once and that will be it. And so when I went there and just was there, and it was very much house we had in England. We have townhouses where there is small houses, and it was same as our house. And I was just be with her, but not finding that she is new to me. It's like I know her and she knows me. And it was, I remember, Saturday evening, Sister Janti was out, Sister Sudesh was out, and it was only two of us. And we just sat in silence. One of the things, it was amazing. Adi Janki had to create such a powerful atmosphere wherever she used to go, and whoever comes, even now, to the place where she has done lots of intensity of meditation. And so when I was very impressed, what is she doing? We have same house, and look at this house. It's just full of spirituality, full of happiness, full of peace. We sat in the evening meditation for an hour. She's not saying anything, I'm not saying anything. And just that powerful connection with the self and with the Supreme. And I stayed there for a weekend, and I was feeling that this is different. My mother, very, very loving mother. And I said, this Dadi is more than mother. And I really, really tuned with her. And I start falling in love with her and with the place as well. And then what happened that in a very little time, there were quite a few Kumaris, the girls, and Dadi loved sustaining everyone. Dadi was people of making people's life. Shashi Ben has got numbers of years of experiences. And so we were about 15 of us, maybe more. And so we used to call this family meetings. So Friday evening, we used to get together. We stay with Dadi every Friday evening. We meditate together, and then she will tell us the stories. And it was amazing, amazing ins and outs of the time the organization was created. And she used to say us the sustenance which we have received from, as Shashi Ben was saying, the founding father and Mateshwari. And I don't want you to miss anything. And I would say that the way Dadi, one of the quality of Dadi and one of the quality of the mother is tireless. Dadi wanted the world to know what is the spiritualities, and that's why she used to make day and night one. Amount of traveling, I have traveled some places with her. And the work she has done on each and every one of us, it was amazing, amazing. And I really came that this is not, ordinary person, and became very, very close. And I wanted to just stay with her. She used to send me to different places, and after a while, as child is missing mother, used to come back to her. One of the things which I really, really liked, which founding father Brahma Baba was very, very clear. And of course, his connection with Shiv Baba was absolutely so strong, so strong. And Baba was very, very clear that in the future, motherhood and friendly nature will be needing. Entire world will need that. And seeing Dadi Janki, she wasn't just mother, but she was really, really friend. Once she was sending me outside. It was outside of UK. And she said to me, do you know what everybody needs? She says, everybody needs, the Hindi word, it's matching. She says, matruta bhav, motherhoodness, mitruta bhav. And that was Dadi embodiment of that. And that's why she understood everyone. As Sashiban was saying, that one of the thing about, mother, if she has discrimination power, parakneki shakti. And Dadi really understood. It's not easy to understand. She was brought up in India and coming into Western world. And she had that kind of intellect, what everybody needs. And she was really, really providing that. Coming back to the history of founding father, it was amazing that the way they were sustained. Because nowadays we talk about family life, and family life falling in parts. And what family life needs, actually, they, even though, as Sashiban was saying, even parents, they don't understand their own children. And so what kind of sustenance they will going to give to their children. And that's why one of the things in the world, because when husband and wife is not getting on well, what will be the situation of the children? Sometimes we hear this a lot, that, single parent, and what's going to happen? Because child need motherly love, but child also need father's love. And if parents, husband and a wife, they're not understanding each other, this is what's happening in the world. And one of the things, what actually the family life should be like. Sometimes people have a very wrong impression about Brahma Kumaris. And founding father, who himself had a family, and then again, imagine he had his own family, and then his spiritual family was created. And imagine he became the father of 400. It was amazing that how we can't even sustain two. Even now, even to sustain one child is difficult. And here, grown up, all kind of, Baba's children came to Baba. And Baba was very, very clear that I need to have very, very strong connection with the Supreme to sustain all these children. And imagine for 14 years, what is perfect relationship as a mother and father. Sushiban was saying, in one sense, Brahma Baba was the father, male, that people used to go, or whoever used to go in front of him. Mother used to be very much, there was a experience of mother. And one of the aim and objective in spiritual life, that if we have very loving, very spiritual experience, individual, as sometimes we used to say to Dari Janki, that you are mother, but sometimes we also feel that you're like a father. So when we have very strong connection with the Supreme, we get motherly experience, well as fatherly experience as well, which is very, very important in the life. And one of the things which we enjoy, which came in one of the sharing, I think it was Sister Janti sharing, and we all love so much studies, spiritual studies. And spiritual studies is actually the main thing in our life. And every day, it's like, yes, the Supreme Teacher is teaching us, but what is it teaching us? And the very first thing is how to sustain the self. And biggest thing in spiritual life, as you enter the spiritual life, it's like, opening of the third eye. I haven't seen Mateshwari, Shashi has said, but one of the things Mateshwari used to say, that what you have to take care of, it's your intellect. Take care of your intellect, and God comes and opens our intellect. And so very first thing, when my intellect is open, I start to see myself very, very clearly. In a sense, what change is needed in myself. And when I really, really start to see that where I change, is because Raj Yoga studies is all about individuals and transforming the self. And so when my third eye is open, because this is also not just the Raj Yoga, it's the yoga of the intellect as well. And when my third eye is open, very first thing is I need to sustain myself. Buddhi, they also say that सबसे बड़ी हरे की माँ है वो बुद्धि है, which is intellect is our first mother even before, yes, our mother. And we all have that. We carry that throughout the cycle, especially when we come to spiritual life. This is where we have to take care of our buddhi. And when we take care of our intellect, we will see that we are just contemplating on the self, seeing the self. When we don't have spiritual studies or spiritual wisdom or spiritual intellect, then we are always looking out there. This one is not right, that one is not right. It's just looking defects of others. When we come to spiritual life, and this was the beauty of Dadi Janki, really, how she kind of really loved everyone and brought so close motherly love, fatherly love, friendly love, teacherly love, and giving the directions, and really, really cares so much. And one of the things I really, really used to admire about Dadi Janki, one of the last day, she was studying the spiritual studies before she went to bed, around about 10 o'clock. She read the spiritual teachings, and after 3 hours, she left. So her understanding level of spirituality, it was like unlimited. But what I used to admire, she used to say to us, well, yes, we all know that where we are coming from. So she used to say that at least take some points from the spiritual studies. And she says, okay, 1 point, 2 points. And then she says, at least you can go up to 10. And then she said, you're only studying for 1 hour. What are you going to do about 23 hours? And her churning power, going into depth of everything, everything. Because nowadays, as it's easy to say things, but if you have an experience, how are you going to give experiences to others? And Dadi used to go into depth of each and every point of spiritual studies. And when we do something like that for some period of time, it really becomes part of the life. And she really, really taught us how to become good student, because she was very good student and she was very good teacher. And she always used to say that, you sustain one. I'm not seeing one in you, but in you, there is a big world. So the way she was sustaining us, that we have world in front of us and we have to serve them. And her passion was, she wants to serve the world. She wants to make life of people, spiritual life. People are suffering, and day and night, this is what she used to do. Even in the dreams, the sisters who used to stay with her, she's just giving, even in her dreams, giving. And I'm really, really fortunate to have her in my life. Not only that, she said that what we have experienced in our early days, I don't want you to miss anything. Okay, we haven't seen the founding father, Father Brahma Baba or Mateshwari, but she really used to bring the spirit of those souls. The Prakash Mani used to come to us regularly. The Gulzaris would come to us very regularly. And she says, what we have experienced, we wanted to experience the same thing. And so, what is actually the real mother? She was more than mother. And in the world, I mean, she has been everywhere. One pilot used to say, Daddy, the way you are traveling, I don't even travel that much. Because she had that love for the humanity, love for the souls, and she did that work. So mother means tireless, and tirelessly, and so much love, so much love. And she used to say that, why Daddy is Daddy here? Shashi did mention that one of the thing about mother, and she used to say that, tolerance is a very big power. And why Daddy is here today and serving the world? Because tolerance. So tolerance plays very big role in our life. And so I really admired her. And we all still feel, when people come in our life and taught us so much, they never leave our life. From up above also, they are serving us, they are directing us. And one of the things she used to say to me, never change your face. It's not very good. When you keep changing your face, you shobha nahi deta. I don't know how many times she correct me, most of us. When we used to make the faces, she never liked it. This is always have a spiritual face. When somebody sees you and really inspired by you, so again, really, really admired her. And of course, she never took any credit. She says, what we have taken, it was from up above, from founding father, founding mother. We're just delivering to you. And we just, Baba has sent us as an instrument to serve the world. And she used to say, I have a great fortune to serve the world. So that's a sweet junkie. We were somewhere yesterday coming from Ahmedabad. Is a nice place on the way. So 8 of us were traveling and they wanted to know us. And I was just thinking, all of us, we had great fortune to stay with her and how much she has given to us, how much each and every one of us. Because here, she came in 2007 and we came to Dadi in 1976. I came in 1976. And her thing was that we always stayed very, very close to her and take so much from Baba. And so I was just seeing the sisters when we were relating our stories. This is so fortunate that we were very, very close to Daddy. But Daddy also used to say that what you have received now, you have to give it to others. It's not yours, it's given by God. And so, yes, daddies are daddies, and if you can do even 5% of what they've done, their capacity was different, our capacity was different, but it is still in the heart. What we have received, we also want to give it to others. And as Manoj Bhai was saying that, when somebody receives something from God and it's not ours, of course, what we have received, we are giving to others. And when anything is given at the time of need, there are lots of blessings have received. And that's again the fortune. Life with the fortune is a very big thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Maniben. Nice. You remind us, Dadi Janki and everybody, of course. Dadi always say that Baba given you sustenance, you sustain others. When you have, centers, people come. And the first thing that he taught us, that don't think that you are giving them. Don't just say, I. Always let their connect with Baba straight away, with the God, so they can take sustenance direct from God. But the minute they come into your center, they feel that they belong here. Do you know what I mean? And when they meet you, they feel that they love you, they belong to you, and they belong to this space, and they feel homely. That's what very important. They should feel homely. And when you give them altruistic love, they feel that they have got something here to get it. And always remember, Baba is Karan Karavan Har. I am only the instrument to give them Baba's knowledge. And don't let them stuck on you, or don't be that loving so that they're stuck on you. Baba always says the ants comes when you're too sweet. So they should just connect to Baba. And when they recognize Baba, they have faith with God, then they can really take the benefit of spirituality. But don't do I, and be only the instrument. Be very humble and just sustain them what they need, what they want. And then you be very particular. Don't disclose their secrets to anyone. You know, many people come, sister, I tell you my story, but I wish you don't tell anyone. Of course, they come crying. But in the first lesson, they're smiling because God gives them the sustenance. And that's how, when we are the instrument to give it to them, and we are very humble, we don't want any credit from them, that we want them, they should feel secure in them. And that's the quality. And what they need, you give them. If they need silence, give them the experience of meditation. If don't talk too much, then they disappear. So many things Radhi taught us how to sustain the others, think what they need, what they don't want, and then when they belong to the family, and naturally give them the understanding how to we overcome their weaknesses, and how to not do things which gives them problem, how to change their sanskaras, because everybody suffers because of their old habits and sanskaras. When we point out for them, and then they understand, and altruistic love, and I am the instrument, Baba's love, faith in God, and naturally sustain them, not only the knowledge, but yoga is very important. Like Maniben was saying, that the intellect should connect to God. And even you should be very good in studies. Daddy gave me the blessings that sustained me for whole my life for 50 years in knowledge. She said, never miss Amrit Vela, morning meditation. Never miss morning Murli, that discourse we read in the class. And never miss going to Mount Abu, Madhuban, every year. She had that sort of wisdom, the blessing she gives, it just becomes vardhan to you. And I don't remember that in my life of this, that I missed Amrit Vela. I used to say that to Didi, Didi, don't ask me to get up in the morning hours. I have a little baby and she wakes me up every night. I cannot get up in the morning. No way. Didi wrote me one letter, sweet child, at the morning hour of Amrit Vela, Amarnath Baba gives you the Amar Katha to take you to the Amarpuri. Won't you go to the Amarpuri? That's it. That's her sustenance, Didi's sustenance to me. When she wrote me that, and Dadi Janki said, never miss the Amrit Vela, the blessing from Dadi became a vardhan to me, a boon to me. And there you are. And one time when we opened this Greenford Center, we moved it. Dadi told me, this is a different area. You just don't come to Global House. You sustain people here. And I start crying. This is Dadi's sustenance. I said, Dadi, don't ask me. You come from so far. And there you are. You have such a lovely wisdom. I'm not going to ring a bell for 2-3 people here and miss your classes. No way. I start crying. When I came home, I said, Dadi's wish is there. What shall I do? What shall I do? And there was a couple coming in the morning when we opened this center. And I said to them, can you come 5:30 in the morning? And I'll read you the Murli, the discourse. And they were very happy so they can go to the office early. Then I start 5:30 in the Greenford. And then those people who just wanted to go to work early, they start coming there. And 6:30, I drive to Global House. So rush. Tennyson wrote at that time. Baba. And the way I drive, Dadi finished the Murli, and I would just sit there. There you are. Because and Dadi's blessing was wonderful. Wonderful. That's how. Because the way she said something, I learned from that. That this is the way that you sustain also others. Give them what they need, what they want, but don't just say things that they can't do it. Understand. Be very, you can say it, but very easy. Some sister said to me, I can't do that thing. That's why I don't think I can carry on in knowledge. I said, doesn't matter. Feel it easy. Whatever benefit you want to take in the knowledge, take it. Just because one thing you can't do it, don't do it. When you're ready, then do it. And they love it. And that she's Pakka Brahman now. There you are. When you force them something on them, they don't do it.
Thank you.
But listen to their stories. Thank you.
I want
And
to
that's
say
it.
thank you. Time is up and we want to continue to listen. Definitely. And thank you very much for your
Thank you.
experience sharing. I'm sure we all are taking so much deeply in our hearts. Now I'll actually invite Sister Claudia to give your thanks. And I'll also announce the good news, the book, and the upcoming program.
Good.
Shanti, so nice to hear those two mothers talking to us. And I was thinking also some fathers are like mothers too. And then they are very lovely and they bring the children very nicely as well. But important thing is if a family depends on the mother. I always think like that. If the mother is strong, it shows the family the path. The family is always good. No problem comes to the family. I always, before I came to Brahma Kumaris, I used to really make effort on the mothers because I say if one mother in the house is okay, everything, because I see from my grandmother, my mother, they were not working, but they were sustaining the family. And then sometimes a little bit hard because we have to get straight, otherwise we would go out of the path. But the mothers are the steam of the house. The boat goes if the mothers is strong and very spiritual too, and all the visions and values, and don't fight or anything in the house. Just look for the best for the family, and then the family can be the family where we live, the community family, the world family. Everyone is like our family too. So thank you so much. It was very nice, wonderful to hear from both of you. Thank you, thank you. So for money, it's quite late. We are reaching here 10 o'clock.
Yeah, thank you so much I know for India, it is 10 almost, but yeah, it was wonderful sharing.
Thank you. This is money. No matter what time.
I see my friends from Montreal. Hello. Hello, everyone. Nice.
Thank you.
So,
thank you.
as you can see on the chart, if by chance anybody is new today, haven't shared their contact info, you can still put it on the chat or to myself or Sister Vidhi. I'll just quickly announce what's coming up. We know this is our concluding workshop, and we'll conclude it, wrap it up with the silence retreat on sustenance. So much we reflected, we heard, we can, in the silence, can really engrave in ourselves. So for that, it's happening just in 12 hours, Sunday, 9th of February morning, 9 a.m. for India time. And that is Saturday, 8th February, 7:30 p.m. for West Coast, US, Canada. And this is based on our Brahma Kumari's teachings, and everybody is welcome to experience silence, the connection with the Supreme, as mentioned, and reflect on sustenance. And yes, the book is coming up. Sister Karan from Vancouver team is leading it, and dedicated team members are helping out. So this book will be coming up soon, and we'll let you know. Yes, if you want to book a book for yourself, please send us an email. Shashi Didi mentioned that she said, yeah, book one for me. So yes, it is coming up. That's a good news, so that we can have all the sharings that we heard 4 years all along would be in the books for our practice, for our sustenance. This was our beautiful calendar that carried over, and this is our last session of Values for Life series. Thank you everyone for being a part, making it happen, making it successful. And what is next? However, when one ends, another one comes into existence. So as planned by the team, we'll continue another series named as Arts for Life series. And we'll take 1 month break, and it will start on 15th of March, Saturday, 7 a.m. West Coast, US, Canada. That's 2 p.m. UK time and 7:30 p.m. India time. It's actually 8:30 p.m. India time. Sorry about the mistake. But we will connect with you soon. And the first episode will be the art of being still. So there are 16 arts as we learned in Brahma Kumari. So we'll know more. We'll introduce how it came into existence and how we'll continue with it. But the first episode will be the art of being still, Sthirata Ki Kala in Hindi. And for that, we'll have Sister Maureen Goodman from UK. She's the program director of Brahma Kumaris in UK. So please mark your calendars, join us then. And you can check us out on our websites. That's vihasa.in and vancouver.brahmakumaris.ca. Send us an email for any queries. And all the playlists are here in the episodes, like last week, Sister Jayanti did, and the workshops. So please make a note. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for staying even a few minutes late. And as always, we take a spiritual photo, virtual photo, to mark this moment memorial forever. You can open your video, I can see. Opened already. Beautiful. Anybody who hasn't opened their video, you have 3 seconds. There you go. I got a few more faces smiling. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. That's the only word I can say. And thanks to the Supreme. And as we wrap it up and time is really finished, maybe we can just take drishti from all of our seniors, Mani Didi, Shashi Didi, and Sister Claudia, as I play just a song. Let's feel the connection with this.
Journey awakens within when songs of remembrance begin. The child of the Father is lost in the ocean of love, holding the hand of the guide through the path of confusion inside. Tears become pearls in the silence and passing of time. The song of remembrance is sung in unlimited rhyme. The song of remembrance is sung in unlimited rhyme. Dance away to the beautiful music you wanted to play. Dance away in your heart. Dance away to the beautiful music you wanted to play. Dance away in your heart. In your heart. The palace of mirrors reflect the secrets within you reject. A hat of some status disguising the kingdom of light. The room of your heart you vacate when the hotel of sorrows your fate. Locked in a jungle of questions, the fortune of hell. The strings of attachment draw masters right under the spell. The strings of attachment draw masters right under the spell. Dance away to the beautiful music you wanted to play. Dance away in your heart. Dance away to the beautiful music you wanted to play. Dance away in your heart.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Om
you.
Shanti. Good night.
Om
Good morning.
Shanti, Om Shanti.
Have a wonderful day and good night.
Good afternoon.
Good night.
Good
Thank
afternoon
you.
and
Om
keep
Shanti.
sustaining
Om
yourself.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.